Hey guys, so I don't really feel good today. So I thought, since I've never really done like a get ready with me, this isn't going to be like really a tutorial much, but it's just like a talkative get ready with me. This is just going to be like simple, super easy, everyday, nothing fancy at all makeup look. And before I even get started, I'm going to let you know that I don't wear foundation just because I just haven't found a foundation that I really like yet. So you would obviously do, and you can do these in any steps that you want, like in any order that you want. I don't think there's really a very specific order of things. Some people like to do their foundation first, some people do their eyes. I normally start off with my eyes right before I start my face, but anyway, everything is all drugstore. And yeah, so the only thing I've really done is I've already pre-wet my Real Technique sponge, and this is going to be, lots of parts are going to be fast forwarded and maybe skip just for time purposes, so it's just going to be like a really quick get ready with me. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I look really weird without glasses, and I'm going to have to use a mirror to see, because without my glasses I can't see anything unless I'm like really close. So the first thing I do is, since I don't really use foundation, I don't worry too much about fancy primers. You can use this step with whatever you want. You can use primer, moisturizer. This I'm just going to use like moisturize and just kind of smooth out everything. And this is just the Ultra Safe Body Cream from Bath & Body Works, and I chose Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte for today. Okay, so while I let that kind of like sit into my face, I'm going to immediately start off with the eyes. Well, actually I'm going to go ahead and put some lip balm on real quick, and then I'm going to immediately start off with mascara. Okay, so I'm going to curl my eyelashes first. Why did I try to say very? So like I said, this isn't going to be anything fancy at all, so if you want to, you can go ahead and add like liquid eyeliner or whatever, a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm just immediately going into mascara, and I use two different types of mascara, and I go into sort of a step process, just because it's easier with what I do. But the first one I go in with is the Maybelline Rocket Volume Express, the waterproof. So this is my first layer of this. So there you go, there's the first layer of mascara. I don't wiggle my mascara in. I know everybody tells you to do that. I just don't. Otherwise, it's not just this mascara. Every mascara I use, when I do that, clumps on me. So now, since I've already done like my first layer, and like before you would do your first layer of mascara, you would want to do your eyeshadow or eyeliner if you want to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and go in with my brightening concealer here, and this is the, what is this? Maybelline, right? Yeah, this is Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and this is the dark circle one, so it's like that pink. It's actually called like brightener or illuminator. If you can see that, I can't see because I don't have glasses on. But it's just a sponge, and it clicks up, but I find you don't have to re-click it every time because the product just sort of rests in the sponge anyway. So I'm going to just use this for right under here. I'm not really concerned about covering up my dark circles so much. If I was, I would put an orange or red lipstick right here first. I'm just doing this for some brightening effect, and I'm going to bake it too. And I do take this just a little bit down the bridge of my nose, and just a little tiny bit up here that I'll blend out later. I don't really do around the chin so much. So I take my Real Technique sponge, and it is dampened, and I just blend this in. What I like to do after blending it with a sponge, I'll take my fingers and just sort of press and roll just to really sink that concealer into my skin. I find that it just blends in a lot better. Like this concealer is awesome. Like I said, I use this more as a brightening effect than more of like a cover-up effect. But I feel like when I press it in with my fingers, it just like melts into the skin a lot better than if I just did it with a sponge. Of course, remember you want to have clean hands before you touch your face at any point in time, especially with product and stuff and trying to push things in. So now the concealer's all in there, and I'm going to quickly bake it. So I use this e.l.f. I think it's the HD powder. I use it in sheer, and this is going to go everywhere. So if you see it all in the camera, it's going to go everywhere. But I like to pick this up with my wet blender. I get a lot, and I just sort of press it right there on top of the skin. And I mean, it's everywhere. So this is why, it's in my mouth. This is why I do that one layer of mascara before doing this, because I'm going to do multiple layers, like I think at least 2 layers of mascara. So that way when I go to wipe this powder off, it's going to get in my eyelashes pretty much, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to do another layer of mascara that will cover it up. But anyway, you can let this set for basically as long as you want. I let it sit long enough to do, it's everywhere, a quick contour. And I don't contour a whole lot anyway, even when I am getting fancy, because I don't know, I don't. But my makeup, like I said, since it's just sort of everyday, it's more of a natural type makeup. But the contour, I do use my Wet n Wild contouring palette. Ooh, about to smack myself in the face, which is in the shade Caramel Toffee. This is the old one. This isn't the reformulated. So I don't know what the reformulated is all about, but I just take my e.l.f. stippling brush. Like, all my brushes are from the drugstore too, and I'm only using 2 brushes to do my entire makeup today. It's just, I just want to show you this because it's a really easy makeup look. So I just sort of, you can dab it or you can wipe it. And this contour is not, on my skin tone, it's not anything harsh. So I don't have to worry about tapping off excess powder. And I just go from basically right here to here. I feel like with my contour and my blush and all that, just put it on that Bath & Body Works body cream. Even though it's not a primer, I feel like my makeup does stay longer with it, and I feel like the product really does blend and smooth out better with that on my face. I don't know how well the camera is going to show the color of this, but you can take your contour anywhere, and I also like to go right under the jawline. So I'll go right here where my ear kind of starts, you know, like where my jawline and my ear connect, and I'll go right under here. And when I'm doing this, I'm blending down and in circular motions. That way I'm not dragging it too far down the neck, but just enough to blend it where it's not on top of my jaw, it's right underneath my jawline, just to help sort of, you know, because I'm a fat chick, so I have to help people find my jawline. I feel like this stuff blends really easy. Like I said, I don't know how, if the camera makes it look harsh or subtle, but to me this stuff blends really easy. And I like to also go, you know, I have chin fat, so I like to go just right underneath the chin. And again, blend it out in just circular motions. And ignore that, that was a pimple. Sorry. Okay, so at this point, before I do anything else, I am going to wipe away all my bake now. You can leave it on as long as you want or as short as you want, but I use my e.l.f. complexion brush for this and my blush, which you'll see. So I just literally close my eyes so it doesn't get everywhere in my eyeball and gently wipe it away and buff it. well you can see on camera, but in real life, that just really makes this under eye area really smooth. And it helps brighten it some. And it feels really soft with that powder. Like, it feels like you know, even though I did put lotion there, but it feels like, I don't know, just really soft and not dry or cakey at all. You can see texture in my skin everywhere, but it gives the illusion of it being super smooth. Blush, I'm going to go back in with my eye, and what I'm going to do is something that everybody tells you not to do, which if you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. But I'm going to curl my eyelashes again. And when I do this, I am super careful, and I don't press hard. I don't put a lot of pressure on here. I just barely tap it just to add a little bit more of a curl. And when you pull it away from your lashes, pull it away very slowly so you don't pull out any of your lashes. So I'm going to go back in with a second coat of that same Rocket Volume waterproof mascara and add just, like I said, a second coat of that. So there's a second coat, and when I add more and more coats of mascara, the more coats I add, the less pressure I put into my eyelashes. So I'm not adding just glops of it, but here's the second coat of that. And then, if you want to, you can wait a little bit, but I immediately go back in with a tiny bit of the Supersizer mascara. Some days I'll go in with one coat of the waterproof, one coat of this, but I'm going to add just a tiny bit of this, like, right around here. So there you go. It might look really clumpy on camera, but it's not that clumpy. And you can always comb through it. So there's the eyelashes. I feel like my eyelashes are non-existent, so I feel like I have to do this. And then for the under eye, I am going in with that waterproof. Just because, like, today I don't feel good. So like I said, I might, just in case I, like, you know, water under the eyes, I'm going to use this. So then I go in with blush. And for blush, you can do whatever. Several times I've gone in with different colors, and I'll give you an example real quick with like that e.l.f. Blush palette. There's been a couple times where I'll take like this color and come back here and then add a pop of whatever one of these colors. So you can really mix and match all you want. But I'm just going to just use the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. Just because I feel like it's a really beautiful blush no matter what you do with yourself. I don't know if the lighting will capture it. It never seems to want to capture it. So I just take that e.l.f. complexion brush and I go in with this, and if you feel like you get too much, you can tap some off. And this is just me, you can put it however you want, but I just start back here and then work my way to the apple. And I try not to make this, like I said, I don't know how the camera is going to pick up the color, but I try to make this where it's too dramatic. I try to make it, like, you know, sort of subtle. Okay, so then I'm going to go back into my Wet n Wild contour palette, and I'm going to use the Highlight Illuminator whatever powder. This isn't really a highlight. I use it, even though it looks like a whole lot, I use it just to blend my blush and contour together. It just sort of smooths everything out for me. And if you want, you can use that side to set your concealer too if you don't bake. So my last thing is, you know, for the face is highlight. And for highlight, which I actually didn't grab it, it's from the drugstore for highlight. I still didn't grab it. Formula has this like shimmer strip thing, which is an awesome highlight. But I have two other options here. So one, and you can mix these, do one at a time, whatever. If you want more of like a natural sort of like glow from within type, I use this Wet n Wild bronzer in Reserve Your Cabana. And it's just like, I don't know, it looks really harsh, but when you blend it in, it's this really nice sheen. And if you want, you can do that. It's almost like a blush topper. It's just enough glow, but it's not really like a bam highlight. Or what I use for more of a intenser highlight is my Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells palette. And, you know, you can go crazy with this all you want. But I like using the brow bone highlight right on my face. And I like applying it with a wet sponge, so like that Real Technique sponge. And I just literally take it and slide in here like this and just buff it right where I want it. And I like to add some highlight right here, so when I smile my cheek shines a little. And if you want to, which I'll do sometimes, is I'll even add that Reserve Your Cabana right on top or underneath it. So I don't know how well my camera picks it up, but it does give off a really pretty glow in the sunlight. And I do add just a tad bit to the tip of my nose, and if you want you can bring it down the bridge and all that. Finish this look, because I don't feel good, my lips are a little bit dry, I'm going to top it off with just the tiniest bit of gloss. And I'm just using an e.l.f. shimmer gloss. They're not like the best lip gloss, but it's what I have, and it works. And then if you want, you can use some you know, makeup mist to help, you know, spray and lock it in. Wet n Wild's one is really good. I think it's like $5. So there you guys have it. I know it isn't a whole lot. It's not anything fancy like I said in the beginning. It's very subtle. I don't know how the camera's picking up some colors, but in real life it just looks very subtle, very natural, and still put together at the same time. And it took longer for me to just, you know, pick everything I'm show you and all that, but in real time it takes me probably, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, just depending on how, you know, slow I'm moving. You can add inner corner highlight if you want still. You can add that liquid eyeliner I was talking about. You can add to this however you want, but this is just something very quick that I use on days that I don't really feel good. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Bye!